What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So it is the most exciting time of the year for all the bodybuilding fans as the Super Bowl of bodybuilding that is now just days away. And since everyone has given their Olympia picks, here are my predictions. So first of all, there is no longer the benefit of being the reigning Olympia champion as we have seen different Olympia champions since the legend Phil Heath, especially since 2022. Now, let's start with the first place. I personally have the Persian Wolf, Hadi Choopan winning the Olympia this year. And that is because of a couple of reasons. First of all, out of all the guys aiming for the top spot, Hadi is the only one who hasn't competed throughout this year. And I do believe that will allow him to peak 100% for this upcoming show. He has already been one of the most consistent guy in the men's open bodybuilding for many years now. And with another full year of off-season, training absolutely balls to the walls, where his focus that was solely to improve some body parts, like for instance his back. I think Hadi is gonna show up better than his Arnold Ohio look from last year. So there is nobody in this lineup who can match that gnarly condition that Hadi Choopan is known for, and that trademark conditioning that I do believe is going to be the biggest difference maker come Olympia this year. And the second reason is that last year Hadi Choopan was off and he was still tied on the scorecards with Samson Dauda after the prejudging. And on that note, I'm going with the reigning Olympia champion Samson Dauda for second place. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. He obviously is the favorite going into this show, and majority of the predictions, they have Samson Dauda winning the Olympia. But there has also been a question mark on Samson's consistency. Now most of us thought that Samson and his team, they have finally figured the formula out when he won the Olympia last year. And he was very confident that he's gonna win this year's Arnold, hands down. But they were just unable to duplicate that same look at the Arnold Ohio this year, and he lost to Derek. Now Samson has pushed for that conditioning harder than ever before. But there is also the risk of him losing some of the weak body parts, like the back. Now genetically, Samson cannot reach the same level of skin texture as Hadi, Derek, or the Mutant. And we have no idea whether he's going to have that same wow factor, the fullness, the roundness, as the judges and us fans are used to seeing on him. And the second thing is that, while trying to get that fullness back, they can also spill over. So in third place, we have the former Olympia champion Derek Lunsford. Now I personally think this is the hardest pick, as Derek has all the tools to win the Olympia this year. And he might. The judges seem to like his physique a lot. And to all the people who are gonna make this argument that there is no way Derek beats the Mutant, then just ask yourself, if Nick was unable to beat Derek at the Pittsburgh Pro, where Derek was far from being 100%, how will he beat an improved and a better version of Derek this weekend? And I have to say this, it isn't about whom you like or dislike. It's all about who the judges are gonna pick and what physiques are they inclined towards in the past few years. So in fourth place, I have the Mutant. Now Nick has the craziest body parts, biggest arms in the business, unmatched freak factor, more muscularity than anybody else in this lineup. So the only way for Nick to move up and beat those guys ahead of him, that is simply by overwhelming them with his insane muscularity. But on that note, we have to go back to this year's Pittsburgh Pro, where the judges preferred a more clean-looking physique, although Nick was overall in a better condition than Derek Lunsford. So if Nick shows up at his 100% and Derek also shows up at his 100%, I just do not see the judges picking a mass monster over a more aesthetic look, over a more streamlined look. And the fact is, Nick has to be spot on in terms of everything. His midsection control, his quad sweep, his transitions. So I think Nick is gonna be fourth. In fifth place, I have Andrew Jagged, another guy who can win the whole damn thing. So this statement can be said about each one of those above mentioned guys. But if Andrew overcomes his weaknesses, he brings up his hamstrings, the glutes, the fullness, the wow factor, and at the same time, have the conditioning that he showcased at this year's Arnold, with the fullness and the wow factor from the Texas Pro last year, he can potentially win this show. But realistically speaking, that's simply too much to ask from Andrew Jagged in a very short amount of time. Now, Andrew did not go full-blown into the off-season after winning FIBA Germany. He had some time to rest, recover, detox, so that further reduces the length of the off-season. Now, Andrew is the guy who has never looked his best, especially at the Olympia stage. Plus, he won't have the thickness from the side to get past these other guys. So in 6th, I have Martin Fitzwater. So he's a top 4 Olympian from last year. And I think the only reason he was able to beat a physique like Andrew Jagged, that was because Andrew was way off. So Martin is very young and the man is still evolving. And let's assume he shows up 100% dry and absolutely ripped to the bone. But so are the other top 5 guys. Then who among those guys does he beat to possibly place ahead of top 5? So I have Martin in 6th. So at number 7 I have Behrouz Tabani. Now he hasn't been tried and tested against any of these top Olympians. Now if we put him side by side against a guy like Martin, then the leg size that is going to show up on the stage in every possible comparison. The sweep on Behrouz's quads, that just simply isn't up to the par in comparison to the guys who are gonna be in the first call out. And in my opinion, that is the major reason why Behrouz is gonna be top 7. Now in 8th, I have the former Olympia champion, Brendan Carey. So I just do not see an improved and a better version of Brendan compared to the Olympia last year, placing any lower than 8th. He still has the size, he still has the shape to hold off all these young guys for another year or so. Now in 9th place, I have William Bonac, the conqueror, the true veteran of the sport. And even his placing in different shows throughout this year, they are a proof that Bonac isn't placing outside of that top 10 that easily. So the one guy who I think can place ahead of these guys, that is Good Vito. But I'm a bit skeptical about that. So I'm gonna put Good Vito in 10th. A lot of size, a lot of stage presence. So other than that chest, he has a tons of detail literally everywhere on his physique. So Good Vito is gonna be a big factor at his first ever Mr. Olympia. So these are my picks. Let me know what you guys think and comment your top 6 in a particular order down below. That being said, I know there are plenty of guys like Tonio Burton, Regan Grimes, Ursula Shinsky, Jordan Hutchinson, Rubiel Mosquera, Sazan Hirati, who are all aiming to be in that top 10. But the fact is, not everybody can be in that top 10. And I know they are all very good bodybuilders, but someone has to place outside of that top 10. So let me know what you guys think and stay tuned for the Olympia weekend.